Hey guys, welcome to another video. So in this video, it's kind of like a tips and tricks, or just to show you some things that the Huawei Ascend Mate 2 can do that you might not have noticed right offhand, or some things to make your Huawei Ascend Mate 2 more to your liking. So the main thing that I see on the internet is people talking about the launcher, the Huawei launcher. Well, I personally like this launcher. I think it's nice. It gives you access to everything right up front. But some people who use Android are used to a app tray. And so the best part about Android is you can actually change this to look exactly how you want it to look. So I've installed several launchers on here just to show you that it's really easy. All these launchers came right out of the App Store, the Play Store, and they're all free. So the first launcher that I'll load up here is this Galaxy launcher. So just in case you're a person who was using a Galaxy Note device or something and you wanted to switch to this device and you were having trouble doing so, this gives you the look and feel of a Samsung product. And it's called the Galaxy launcher, and it's in the store. It looks just like this. Obviously I don't have the wallpaper. I kind of like this flat wallpaper, but you can put any wallpaper you want. You just change your wallpaper to any wallpaper that you desire, and this will make your phone look more like the Galaxy line. And it's a pretty good launcher. It doesn't add a lot of heft to the flow of the device. This device has 2 gigs of RAM, so it's flowing pretty good. So let's move on to another launcher, and that is going to be the Google Now launcher. This isn't one that you can get in the Play Store by just getting it. You have to actually go on the net and search for it. But this launcher is definitely one that is, one that a lot of people are using right now, and I use it frequently. But it's not my first choice for a launcher anymore. It too gives you your app tray back, just like the stock Android experience. Oops, sorry about that. And that's the Google Now launcher. So the next launcher I wanted to show you, if you're switching from an iPhone, you might say, well, I like the look of an iPhone. So here is the launcher that makes your phone look like an iPhone. And this is in the Play Store. It's another free one. You just go in and search for what you want, the type of phone, and then put launcher behind it, and you'll probably find that someone has already made one. And the next one is a Windows 8 launcher. I think this one is probably the most unique. It's very clean, very stylish. It actually looks exactly like Windows, and I don't think you can go wrong with this one. Swipe over, you get all of your apps just like Windows. You hit the little icon, it gives you all of the things just like Windows. It's exactly like Windows Phone. This is just pretty amazing that they're able to do this, and I thank all the people out there who make these applications for us, and keep us so we can be entertained with our devices. I think that's pretty cool. So the last launcher that I personally have been using for a long time, which I think a lot of people are using it, is Nova launcher. I have mine set up a different way than you might have yours set up, but Nova launcher seems to be the one that a lot of people are going towards with the Android phones now, not just the Huawei Ascend Mate 2, just Android phones in general. And that's the great thing about Android, is you can customize it to make it look however you want. So this is the Nova launcher. I have mine set up a different way. I don't have a status bar up there, and I have the old style menu at the top there with honeycomb, and I have everything set up down here. So the next thing I wanted to show you was something that I have never talked about in one of the videos, because I don't use it, but I don't think it's fair that I don't talk about it, which is the Wow button. The Wow button gives you these extra features. Find it here. You turn on the Wow button, and you get this little icon right here that you can move around, and you press that icon, and it pops open a side menu, and that's home and back. And then you press here, it lets you open up different little small icons. So you can have a calendar if you need to view a calendar real quick. You can do a message, a note, calculator. These are all little mini apps on top of the current apps or the current screen or whatever you're on. I want to take a note. I can create a note. I think this is one of the more cool ones because they have the date and time and everything. And finally, one that we all use frequently is the calculator. As you can see, I'm moving these around, but I can actually make them bigger and just use the entire screen for it. And then you close out. So if I go back to another menu, or if I want to go down, it takes you back on how to activate the WOW and shows you demonstrative rights on here for the WOW button. I won't get into that now, but I will show you this one. That clears out everything. If I had a bunch of stuff open, see, it's going to clean it out and clean up the memory for me. So that's the WOW button, which I think is a great feature that most of us don't really use, or at least I shouldn't say most of us don't use it. I haven't spoken about it in any video. I guess I should have spoken about it originally, but it is a nice feature, especially if you have smaller hands. And speaking of smaller hands, the one-hand use is something that Huawei has in place for the phone dialer. And let me see if I can get something up without revealing people's personal information. Well, it won't let me kind of get it up without, I'll clear my log here. There we go. So this is one hand used for the phone dialer and also works on the default keyboard. Now I have a different keyboard on here, so it's not working, but I'm going to go ahead and change it to show you what it looks like. It's kind of weird to use it with the one-handed use. So I'm going to this is what it looks like. It doesn't, I'll show you. You can change to, if you're used to a phone keypad, you can actually have the phone keypad style keyboard on there, and I swipe, and that's how you get them differently. If I was going to use the one hand, I wouldn't use the full keyboard. I would use this version like I'm using a regular phone, and that is really, really cool. Currently I'm using the L keyboard. Just a kind of a knockoff version of the original. I shouldn't say a knockoff. It's not coming directly from Google, so that's why I say that. But a different version. So another one that I think everybody should try this if you haven't done so. You see how I have an S on my button there for my camera? Well, that's from the different modes, and by default Huawei put my phone to smart mode. And what that does is it basically grabs the best picture for you and the best lighting, no matter what it is. When I'm in a dark room, I don't even have to use flash, and it really brightens up the picture. And when I'm in a well-lit room, it kind of tones it down and sharpens it up and makes it really, really clear. So if you want to see how good the camera really is without doing any work, kind of like the iOS devices that we have, just put on the smart mode and leave it there, and you'll be amazed at how nice the camera really can lighten it up for you and clear it up for you when taking a good picture. Now, one important aspect of this phone is called smart power saving mode. Not smart mode, sorry about that. Power saving mode. Power saving mode, I challenge anybody who has a Huawei Ascend Mate 2 to leave their phone in endurance mode. And what that does is it basically turns off all sync pretty much. You can turn the sync back on at the top up here by going over here and turning it on. But when you turn on endurance mode, it kind of turns a lot of things off, and it saves you as much power as possible. And I have my sync turned on at the moment because I obviously I'm review things on YouTube, so I get a lot of emails and messages from people, so I want to keep up with it. But if you turn on endurance mode, right now I have 96% left on this battery, but it's telling me in approximately 30 hours, and you can change it to smart or normal. Mine shipped to me in smart mode. So if you don't want to do any kind of handling or anything, switch it to smart mode because you don't lose that much time. And even with normal getting 26 hours, that's still great for a phone, because the real world time on the phone, you'll see that your battery, let me show you a picture here. Your battery will still work very well. I took a picture. If you're not following me on Twitter, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Mr. J.L. Williams. Here's my time last night from yesterday's use. I had 9 hours and 6 minutes of screen on time. Screen on time means that this phone is lit and I'm using it. A full over 9 hours worth. And that was on 1 day and 9 hours worth of battery. That is extremely good. You don't see that very often. So power saving mode, definitely you should take advantage of that. I don't do hacking and rooting anymore because I found that the end users don't really want to get into that. They want a device they can use right out of the box and just customize it without going into almost breaking their phone. Or nowadays you really can't break a phone, you can always unbrick it, but I don't want to get into a tutorial of trying to help people to unbrick their phone after they've rooted their phone and something went wrong in the steps, you know. But it's all risk. You take risks. But with things like launchers and things like that, you don't have to take any risks. You just go straight in and go to the Play Store or find them online, and you can change your phone back easily if you don't like it. So there were two things in the phone when I got it. There was Get Huawei, which just basically takes you to the website, and the other one here, if you didn't notice, it's down here. It's Huawei Help. And if you press that, it takes you directly to Huawei. That is great. So I want to thank you guys for looking on. This is kind of a quick hands-on and tips and tricks and just some things that you can do to make your experience with the Huawei Ascend Mate 2 even better than what it is and as the way it's shipped to you. So I will see you guys in the next video. If you've got some tips and tricks, go ahead and put them in the comments so I can try it on my phone, because I'm not into the rooting anymore, but still I like to try new things. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.